You are live with Dr. Chapa. Hey, good day, good evening. I hope that you guys are as excited about tonight's topic as I am. All life starts and stops at the cellular level, and nutrition's the fundamental backbone for that to evolve onward, upward, goodward, and Godward, or unfortunately spiral off into what we call symptom land and left unchecked, disease land. Yep, that's right. Dis-ease leads to disease. So I want you guys to know if all life starts and stops at the cellular level, nutrition is the fundamental driver. What can we do to improve our overall health and well-being? That's right. It ain't rocket science. Get your gut right. Take care of the digestive system. That's everything from how you chew your food to your stomach acids to your liver, gallbladder, bile production and bile release, your pancreas and the enzymes therein, and the activity that happens all throughout the digestive tract. That is the digestive piece, the absorption piece, the manufacturing piece, and of course, my favorite topic, the excretion piece. And this is a huge, huge conversation to have because we always talk about poop, but today we're really going to be focused a lot on stomach. The stomach is the key. If you are eating, because there's one other piece of the digestive health conversation we have not addressed. We just talked about you, the physical, the person, the organ system. What we didn't talk about is the crap. Uh-oh. I thought you said we were going to talk about poop today, Chop. Oh, yeah, we're always going to talk about it. However, the crap in this case is an acronym that stands for excessive carbohydrates, the C. Too many people are living on the 6 to 11 servings of carbs recommended by the old food pyramid that was bought and paid for, and good marketing to push your dollars to put in your pantry, your shelves, and you are consuming it day in and day out. There is no such thing as essential carbohydrates. So you are eating too much. No one is promoting low carb. They're just saying, hey, moderate carb. And that's not true either. There is no such thing as moderate carb, high carb living that is going to lead toward good health. Okay. And so when you put these things into your system, you stress out digestion. And essentially, we know this is true because the way the digestive tract is set up, you chew up your food and then you put it in the stomach. What is the purpose of the stomach? Did you know? Protein digestion. That's interesting. We don't start doing things with the carbohydrates until we get into the small intestine. The fat from the protein, the fat from your, whatever you're cooking your stuff in is all being supported and broke down in the stomach. Then that first part of the small intestine where the bile is released and the enzymes from the pancreas are released to help further break down the fat and the protein all the more. And of course the carbs. But again, low carb living is something that most of us don't want to do because it puts strain on our feeling of being hungry. Well, and that's because we have now adapted to this high carb lifestyle that is sabotaging stomach digestion and causing it to be stressed out. Because when you eat excessive carbs that are highly processed, the P in crap is also now creating an additional stressor for your stomach acid to maintain deep acidity where you can appropriately break down food well. Then the R and the A, refined sugars and artificial sugars. These are absolute poisons for your stomach acid pumps to work effectively. They will cause them to malfunction. They irritate the whole tissue. Then they further inflame the digestive tract. And being that all life starts and stops in the digestive tract, the gut lining begins to get inflamed. And now all of a sudden, this excessive carbs, refined sugars, artificial sugars, and processed ingredients put in your food supply is now the building blocks that you're pulling on. And you wear out the stomach and its ability to break down food well because you're not putting in the right food that recycles back and helps the pumps work effectively to clean themselves effectively. So this is a huge discussion. Stomach acids are being raised by so many because so many people are suffering with acid reflux, indigestion, heartburn. So many people have Tums in their back pocket, in their car, in their purse, and they go out to eat and they know they're going to take it. They go home and they take, the Pepto-Bismols, the Gaviscons, the other, digestive soothers, and they're not realizing that that is not okay. That is causing more havoc for your stomach. And when your stomach is wrecked, guess what's going to happen? Your digestion is going to be sabotaged. And guess what happens? The manufacturing of B vitamins and neurotransmitters for your brain and your energy pumps are going to be depleted. And then guess what's going to happen? Inflammation. And then guess what's going to happen? More inflammation to the point of EASE, into disease and diagnostics, and further now more medications, polypharma, further diagnostics. And all of a sudden now you're the average American that's 40 or 50 on 3 to 4 to 5 medications even that people are consuming and wondering why. And you're never going to get off those medications if we don't get this digestive thing right. That means the food we eat and then the process they're in. This is a huge and awesome thing because it's in your hands. You can fix this. You can fix this. And so we always have been teaching the triangle effect, the bottom of the triangle being the structure of the man. If the dude don't move, the dude don't move. The chemical of the man is one of the edges. That is also if the dude don't move, the dude don't groove. What happens is if we aren't moving and walking and getting stability in our cerebral spinal fluid, we're not maximizing the energy pumps of our lymphatics to drain and move and get rid of waste. If we're not biochemically moving and you slow down that gut lining, you're never, ever going to experience the value of good health. And the third most common cancer for both male and female is colorectal cancer. Well, if you have an unhealthy digestive tract, you will never outperform cancer. If you have a sluggish digestive tract, you are setting yourself up for inflammatory diseases, colitises, ulcerative colitis, inflammatory bowel diseases, and unfortunately, cancers. This is why this conversation is so important, is that we want to maximize digestion, because when you maximize digestion, your overall health and well-being is better. And that leads to the third part of the triangle, your mindset, your emotional, mental system. If you've got brain fog, you've got GI issues, because that means you're not manufacturing acetylcholine, which is a great memory. You're not manufacturing GABA, which is slowing your brain process down. You're not manufacturing dopamine, which is another feel-good, hormone for you to be able to stop giving into cravings, and other catecholamines for the whole synergistic picture of your brain-body connection, your brain hormonal connection, your brain immune connection, your brain digestive and detox connections to align. I mean, physiology is my baby. I love the conversation because it's your life, your health, your choice. And so on the Dr. Chapa Wellness Show, I have just made a commitment to coming in and teaching you guys, hey, you can go to drchapawellness.com and get our Detox in a Box. We have courses. We have YouTube vids. I do daily, little inspirational topics, because I want you to really appreciate that it is your life, your health, your choice, and you have to make the call. You have to pay the rent. You have to do this work each and every day. But if you are mindlessly eating, or some of my patients will tell me their cars just pull into these fast food chains, you're asking for trouble. TROUBLE, trouble. You cannot expect your body to perform well if you're putting in junk. That's just the way it goes. And we always look at your carb intake, your refined sugar intake, your artificial processed sugar intake, and your processed ingredient intake. If you can get those things under control, it will make a world of difference for how you digest food in the stomach. And the average American right now that's in their 60s and 70s has less than 15% of the stomach acids they had when they were 20 years old. So this is the conversation. People say, why could I used to get away with eating these fast food garbage foods and seemingly have no effect? And now I'm 30, now I'm 50, now I'm 70, now I'm 90, whatever. And now I can't do that anymore. Well, it's because you've worn out your stomach acids and your ability to break down food is no longer there, which is putting more strain on your intestinal system, which some of it can't even do some of the jobs you're asking it to do. Compound, now it can't get the other jobs it needs to get done, like B vitamin production or neurotransmitter production. So now your body's cellular energy money is not there. You're in nutritional debt. You're in neurotransmitter brain debt. And now the quarterback's not communicating to all these systems anymore. This is what's creating the heat in the body, the inflammation in the body, and the dis-ease or the disease and or diagnosis and your ongoing problem. And it's perpetuating down this whole process. Wow, that's a lot to digest. Well, the reality is it's your life, your health, your choice. And all life starts and stops at the cellular level. If you walk that out, and nutrition starts in the gut, what you eat's important, but what you don't eat is more important. I've been saying this for years. I've been teaching this for years. I go back and reread old notes, and I'm like, I've been teaching homocysteine for years. I've been teaching cholesterol's not your enemy. Cholesterol's your best friend for inflammation recovery, for hormone balance, for anti-aging for years. And yet I still meet doctors, medical doctors, that tell their patients that statins should be in the water. Oh, shame on you guys. I mean, it's nuts. I mean, I've sat in seminars just in the last year where doctors that are special guests that are highfalutin, great cardiovascular specialists with, tens of thousands of PDFs that they've written on health, but yet still somehow they've missed the boat that cholesterol is your friend. Well, with good digestion, you keep the inflammation down by opening up your detox pathways. And then if you do what I'm suggesting and going to drchapawellness.com and doing a detox in a box restoration vitality program, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to be the swamp. You're not going to be the cesspool. You're not going to be inflamed at the same level. Everybody that does the detox comes back and says the same thing. More energy, weight loss, more brain fog, more better, deeper sleep, and overall recovery and a feeling I want to live like this. So why do stomach acids matter? Because without good, healthy stomach acids, you're never going to perform at your best. You see, stomach acids sterilize food. They trigger protein digestion. They signal your GI tract to release certain enzymes and your liver to produce certain types of bile for breakdown. Without healthy stomach acids, protein rots in your belly. It ferments. The fats rancidify. That doesn't sound good. I've seen trash bags outside that didn't get put in their trash can, and it seemingly stinks and it leaves a little stain, and that's what's happening in your digestive tract. Carbohydrates ferment. Toxic byproducts like ammonia, acetaldehyde, methane, indoles, hydrogen sulfides stress the body at the micro level and burn tissue in your gut level. And the gut, because you don't have enough good nutrients coming in, can't repair, can't keep up, and continues this perpetuating negative cycle downstream. So proper acid ensures micronutrient absorption. B12, iron, magnesium, zinc. Do you know how many people come in? 95 out of 100 people don't have enough zinc in their body. I do this cool little test in my office. It's so easy, but it's so informative. And it will tell you if you don't have enough zinc, the chief cells can't produce the acid they need. And guess what? 95 literally out of 100 people fail this test every day. It's so sad. And it does take time to get zinc up. It isn't as simple as go to the market and pick up a zinc product. You have to understand the rules of mineral reabsorption. Mineral repletion is not as simple as just taking things. There's a process. Sometimes I have to support the stomach in order to maximize the absorption and utilization of zinc so that I can get it into its proper place, and then it activates the chief cells to become healthy, strong, and vibrant again. Cool, right? I think it's cool. Magnesium, the most abundant mineral in the body. Some people say the neurological mineral of the body, the muscle calming mineral of the body, and the magnesium calming pH inflammation reducer of the body. Calcium, magnesium are the most abundant two minerals in the body. And if you're having digestive acid reflux, indigestion, rotting, smelling, foul smelling gas, burping after you eat, bloat above your belly button, these are all classic indicators that you have stomach acid problems and you need support. I can help you. I got the tools. We use great products like Zypan or Digest Force, which has all three. I like Zypan because it has pancreatic enzymes and some stomach acids. I like Digest Force because it has stomach acids, enzymes from the pancreas, and bile salts that will help the gallbladder break down those fats. So I'm literally the trifecta helping you until I get your minerals repleted. Well, what about iron? How many people are walking around with iron problems right now? Tons of people. And so you can't put iron in the belly, or any mineral for that matter, and it go through the stomach inappropriately. It will not cleave it. It will be cut correctly for the body to activate what iron does, which essentially runs all of your oxygen pathways. And if you have anemia or low iron levels and your oxygen levels get depleted, your body gets into a fatigue state. Mental clarity goes up. Brain fog insists. You wake up with it, go to bed with it, work through your day with it. That's those people that are like, oh my gosh, I just don't know how to get through it. I got to live on rocket fuel. Any stimulant, any type of caffeine product, if you're leaning on it because you just can't get through the day, it's a problem. So this is why we've got to get this stomach thing well. How to recognize you have imbalances in stomach acids. Okay, loss of taste for meat. How many people come into my office and they say, I just don't taste well? Ooh, what do you mean? I have to put salt on everything. I have to put extra spices on everything. Oh, okay. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a sign that the acid levels are too low and you can't break down the protein. So you just don't want a brick in your stomach, and subconsciously you figure out ways to adapt. This isn't a bad thing. It's just a thing, but it's a sign. And if you're on antacids, this is exactly happening. So if you're on any prescription or over-the-counter antacid, you're in TROUBLE trouble. You're on your way. And by the way, guys, they are already diagnosing little kids, babies, infants with colic, with acid issues, and they're putting them on antacids. This is highway robbery. This is dangerous. No wonder we have malformation development in kids. We're not getting the neural development we need. We're not getting the coordination, concentration we need because we can't break down the food even when mama's milk is given. I'm telling you, we don't have to lean on these any longer, okay? So in order to make sure that you get the GI tract healthy, you got to eat real food. If you're an adult, get your stress levels under control, because high-level stress causes cortisol to go up. It shuts down your stomach acid pumps because it creates massive inflammation. So your body has to go into repair mode. And when your body's in repair mode, your body is not going to crave food. As a matter of fact, you're going to crave comfort food, garbage carbs, and that are just going to fill and band-aid and cover up the issues, but long term they create a rotting effect of even the tissue underneath. So if you have gas and bloating 2 to 4 hours after a meal, especially if it is putrid, it's a little bit stinky, if that is fermented gut putrefaction, putrefying, does that even sound like a good word? No, I don't think so. And if it's if you have that type of situation, it's a stomach acid malabsorption breakdown problem. If you have burning stomach relieved by eating, that's an interesting. So it's paradoxically low acid levels, not too much acid. And so it's burning stomach, they think, oh, we put them on an antacid. No, not the case. So it's fascinating because when a person has low stomach acids, they don't break down these minerals, they don't absorb and replete these minerals. The valve at the esophagus going into, crossing over the diaphragm into the stomach begins to get loose. And that valve, all valves are regulated by minerals. And so if you're not repleting your minerals, that valve gets loose and acid could spill back up onto the esophageal area, creating acid reflux, burning, etc. Well, the solution is to turn off the pumps, right? Bad idea. I wouldn't turn off your breaker just because you have, an appliance that needs to be worked on. Well, maybe you turn off temporarily, but you would never use a medication to do this. There's so many easy ways to do it with chamomile marshmallow or ginger or, dude, a bowel cleanse or our 21-day, detox in a box restoration vitality program. Go to drchapawellness.com and you got access to that. If you've got a coating on your tongue, stick your tongue out. If you got a coating on your tongue and you look in the mirror and it looks all white and pasty and you got little deep grooves and stuff down the center, it looks like somebody took a razor blade and broke it all up, that's an indication that you have poor digestion happening. And the digestive tract is actually inflamed in this case. That's a classic indicator. Indigestion, 30 to 60 minutes after eating, another sign that you have a weak gastric or stomach phase of your digestive system. Mucus in the stool, IBS, undigested proteins irritating the mucosal lining, and they're essentially like spitting up, okay? Bloating above the belly button, stomach-specific bloating, that's what that is. So a lot of people don't realize that your stomach is over there working and churning and burning, and it can't absorb these key nutrients, can't do its key jobs and replete the body and help the body out. And that stomach will wiggle and jiggle, and it'll get even wedged up on the wrong side of the diaphragm called a hiatal hernia. And a lot of people are getting surgeries for that. We fix hiatal hernias and support that all the time. If you take the time to manage your stress, make sure your thyroid's in balance, which we do that with the endocrine checks that we do in our office. If we get the brain neurotransmitter questionnaire evaluated and see what neurotransmitters are off, and we look at how your body symptomatically is dealing with just these imbalances that show stomach acid, guess what? We see miracles. So I want to really encourage you to go through this again and ask yourself, do you get any of these signs or symptoms? And if you do, don't worry, there's a solution. You just got to make sure that you are working on the problem at hand. First, recognizing that an antacid is not the solution, okay? Why this matters beyond the gut? Well, poor acid, poor protein digestion, amino acid deficiencies, weak neurotransmitter development, I already mentioned, leads to fatigue, mood disorders, and hormone imbalances. How many people right now are moody? I always like to joke, did you wake up angry this morning? Or did you just let her sleep? Sorry, ladies, I just had a little poking some fun. But functional endocrinology, GI dysfunction, feeds into a vicious cycle of adrenal glitches, which causes hormone problems in your uterus, thyroid problems in your metabolism, insulin problems in your overall metabolic syndromes. So that's not just for gals, but also for the men as well, because then that leads to dysfunction in mineral utilization, which then leads to heart disease in both males and females. So cancer risk, colon health is tied to stomach's ability to digest your food, okay? If you're not digesting well, you're not healing well. If you eat make-believe food, the best you'll ever have is what? Make-believe health, which is why we want to teach you, train you through our courses, drchapawellness.com, our Detox in a Box Restoration Vitality Program. That's essentially a first step in cleaning the systems, draining the swamp, polishing the digestive tract, helping to repair and recover that tissue, and teaching you how to eat the real food that's going to support these natural processes in your body that you need in order to feel your best, perform your best day in and day out. So how do we fix stomach acid issues naturally? We eat whole food, foods with no label. Okay. So we eat real food. If it did not grow out of the ground off a tree, if it doesn't have a mother or father, if it didn't swim in the sea, fly in the air, you probably shouldn't eat it. That is a good rule of thumb. Too many people are on this yo-yo diet process and they are eating fake food, make-believe food, and expecting something more than make-believe health. And it's a shame because more often than not, people seriously are on 3 to 5 medications in their 40s and 50s. This is leading to Alzheimer's, dementia. This is leading to memory issues, fatigue, overweight, obesity, diabetes. Name the condition. I can tie it back to the gut. So you eat real food. Chew your food thoroughly. How often do we not see people taking time to eat slowly enough to enjoy their food? Now, I'm guilty of this because I do intermittent fasting and I eat inside of a tight window, and I also am eating in my day when I'm with patients. So I'm eating throughout the day live with my patients, and my patients watch me eat. I talk with my mouth full. I do all the things that mom told me not to. Sorry, patients. I still love you, and I also love you enough that I'm going to take care of my body so I can always take care of you. That's the plan, right? That's what I'm working towards. And yeah, it would be great, but there's so much need out there. I have to also play by the rules and tighten up my game. I have to eat even out. I'd venture to say better than you're needing to eat, because I am like living in tight deltas, high mental resolve to get answers to you so that you can figure out why your body's breaking down and what you can do to fix your problem. And that's what we do at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. That's what I'm doing at drchapawellness.com. This is what I'm doing with my groups and my programs. And we have these groups available to you. You just got to tap in, get plugged in, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on the TikTok. This all is a fun expansion of how the new world is working in our favor and maybe to our demise. It's stressing us out for sure. But at the end of the day, it's just where we're at. And we're learning together, staying tight together as a tribe of wellness warriors in order to do what's right, even when the world says, hey, have this beer. Hey, drink this drink. Hey, eat that dessert. Hey, eat that midnight snack that's full of nothing but processed food and sugar. Don't do it. It isn't worth it. And your life is worth it. And so it's your life, your health, your choice. Make good choices. Okay? So not hard. Don't drink excessive amounts of water with your meals. Me and my doctor friends have competitions on who can drink the less amount of water with their food. 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after. That dilutes the stomach acids and impairs digestion of whatever it is you're consuming. Support stress management. This is probably the most important thing we could all benefit from. Chronic stress suppresses gastric secretion. When you're fighting for your life, the metaphoric grizzly bear, when you're running for your life, the metaphoric grizzly bear, or when you're running and gunning time and there's no time in the day and you're not making the time to prepare your foods and you're eating fast food, fake food, make-believe food, it's compounding the problem. So we have to support you. We do that through mineral repletion, zinc. We do that through B vitamin repletion. We have our methyl B force. We also use the digest force to maximize the digestive process. So you can go to shop.justlivewell.com. That's shop.justlivewell.com, and you can get access to some of these products, and this will help you improve your overall health and vitality. We're going to make sure that your adrenals are healthy, because when your adrenals are healthy, your ability to produce bile, store bile, flush bile into the gut appropriately is there. Making sure that you're understanding that you can use bitter herbs at time. We have different products that are like chamomile, marshmallow, different type of support that will support those mucous membranes and help them heal and recover. High dose glutamine in order to seal and heal the gut lining if you've got diagnostic leaky gut symptom patterns, which is another conversation, another day. But this is all a part of what we can do to help you spark good health, good digestion, good absorption, good repletion of nutrients so that your body is performing at top-notch level. So stomach acids are the spark to all good things in your body. Without it, the health and wellness curve fails miserably. So it starts with awareness. Do you have gas? Do you have fermentation problems? Do you have belly bloat? then you have stomach acid. Are you stomach acid problems? Are you on a stomach acid reducer, like a drug? Yes, then you have stomach acid problems. You need support and help. At drchopwellness.com and justlivewell.com, we are giving people resources and tools to live a better version of themselves and age gracefully instead of on this inflammatory track. I want to teach you how to live your best, be your best, and perform your best all the days of your life. We want you to see that health begins in the cell, but it's protected by the stomach, or unprotected by the stomach if the stomach is failing you. So let's go onward, upward, goodward, and Godward, folks. Let's live our best life. Let's tap into wellness. Let's share this message with your friends, family, and loved one. It means a lot to me if you do. And go to drchopawellness.com and get your hands on our Detox in a Box. We've got courses, and we've got groups, and we've got basically mentorship programs to help you begin your journey, to help you continue your journey, and help you to expedite your path back to ideal health. drchopawellness.com. I'm always here every week, 7 p.m. to teach you how to live better, be better, and stay better. Hey, ask your questions. That's what this time's for. I love talking about it. I love commenting about it. And I hope that you enjoy these times. And I hope you do share them with your friends. It means a lot to me, but more importantly, it might save some of your friends, family, and loved ones. We can do better health together. We will learn better, faster together. All life starts and stops at the cellular level, guys. And nutrition is the fundamental backbone. So live your best, be your best through good choices, eating real food, and maximizing your stress management curve and trusting the process. No matter what you're going through, no matter how bad your health is, it can be restored back to ideal health. So I hope these times are great, because they're great for me, and I love sharing the message. And I always want you to remember that Dr. Chapa loves you. Have a great and wonderful afternoon, evening, whatever time you're watching this. Share it with your friends, family, loved ones, and we'll check you on the flip side. God bless you, and see you.